Hey guys, so today I am doing my October wrap-up / November to be read video, which is crazy. How is it November already? I don't even know. So in the month of October, I was able to read a grand total of 3 books, which doesn't sound like a lot, but considering all the homework I had to do, I'm fairly proud of that. Yay, pat on the back for myself because I did reading, which is awesome. So let me just shut up and tell you what those 3 books are. Just get right to the point. So the first book I read in the month of October was Gone Girl, and I love you. I love you so much. We're in love. I had really high expectations for this book because I just have heard really awesome things, and I've seen it in the bookstore all the time, and it's just everywhere. And so I really thought it was going to be really good, and it lived up to my expectations. So thank you for that, Gone Girl and Gillian Flynn, for being awesome. I really enjoyed this book. If you're in a reading slump, or if you're just looking for a book that's gonna like entertain you and keep you on the edge of your seat and just kind of like manipulate you and just blatantly lie to you, I would definitely recommend Gone Girl. I just loved everything about it. I loved how sometimes the narrator was really unreliable and you didn't know if he was lying to you. I liked how there were these huge twists throughout the story that you were just like, what? And I just liked the characters and the whole themes of the book and just everything. I thought this was awesome, so I would highly recommend it. In fact, I already made my roommate read it, and she loved it too. So, see, I'm not lying. It's awesome. Go read it. And the second book I read this month is a book I actually read for class, but some of you may recognize it, maybe not. And that book is Into Thin Air, which looks like this. I know there's probably a terrible glare, so here's what it looks like. Yeah. So Into Thin Air is actually a true story about an expedition to Everest that just went completely wrong, and unfortunately a lot of people lost their lives, and it was just a terrible disaster and tragedy. And honestly, because it was nonfiction, it is not something I would typically pick up, even though, you know, it was a huge event and it affected so many people, and I've heard really good things about this book. It's just not something that appealed to me because it was nonfiction. I know that's probably not a good thing to say. I shouldn't judge books just because they're based on true stories, but for some reason it never appealed to me. So when I had to read it for class, I was like, eh. But I really enjoyed it. Even though I knew what was going to happen, I knew people weren't going to make it out alive, I knew a lot of people's lives would be affected, I knew the outcome of this story, I was still really entertained, and I was still, you know, I felt really bad for all these people, and I felt like I was on the mountain, and I just, there was just a lot of emotion and a lot of sadness, and I mean, it was just really good, and I really enjoyed it. So maybe if you're looking for some nonfiction, if you're like me and nonfiction scares you and you tend to stay away, I would definitely recommend Into Thin Air. It's really good, so check it out. And the third and final book I read in the month of October is a book that I'm sure none of you have heard of. It's a little known book, not that popular. It's called Allegiant. Ha ha ha, I'm kidding. This is what it looks like in case you've been living under a rock and haven't seen it before. I'd be really shocked if you haven't seen this like 500 times already. It's very orangey. I'm not going to rant about this book again, but if you want my full thoughts, I will leave a link to my non-spoiler review of Allegiant down below, so check it out. Even if you haven't read the book yet, check it out. But honestly, I really didn't like this book. I really didn't like this book, and I thought that maybe when I made that review, I made it too soon after finishing the book. Like, I just had so many emotions, so I was too critical. But I've had a couple days to process now, and I still don't like it. There's no way I can go back and like read and appreciate Divergent and Insurgent now because I'm really disappointed. So those are my thoughts on Allegiant, which broke my heart. So now I will tell you guys about the 2 books that I want to read in November. Gonna try and keep it light and simple and not, you know, stress myself out by saying I'm going to read 4,000 books in a month, because I've never said that before, but that would be hard to do. So we're going to keep it nice and simple. 2 books this month. The first book I want to read is Will Grayson by John Green and David. Someone told me how to pronounce his last name and I forget. Levithan. That's it. I got it. I hope that was right because I just said I got it like 500 times. Honestly, I didn't want to read this book right away. I kind of wanted to save it because I really like to space out my John Green books because they're beautiful little gems of awesome, and if I read them all at once, then I've read them all, and I like to space them out so I can, enjoy them at my own pace, and I can love them, and I don't know what I'm saying. I just love them, and I like to space them out. But I really want to read this now because, honestly, Allegiant kind of broke my heart and destroyed me, so I want to read a book that I'm fairly certain I'm going to really enjoy, even if I don't love it as much as his other books, and, even if I don't like David Levithan, got this. Even if I don't like his part, or if I just don't like this, it'll still be nice to read a John Green book, because I can probably guarantee there are going to be at least some parts of this I'm going to enjoy. So I am pumped to read this book. And then the second book I will be reading in November is a book I've never heard of, and if you've heard of it, brownie points for you because I've never seen it before. And that is Bay of Souls. Ooh. So I got this book when I was shopping at a used bookstore with my roommate, and she's very good at just kind of picking up a book, even if she's never heard of it before, and just kind of buying it and seeing if she'll like it. Like, she doesn't need to listen to other people's reviews before, or, base her buying of a book on anyone else's opinions. And I really respect that because I have a tendency to only buy books that other people have recommended to me. Like, I just will not pick up a book if I haven't seen the cover before. I need to have recognized it from somewhere. So when I was shopping with my roommate, I was really encouraged to just pick up a book I've never seen before or heard of before, and I got this. I don't really know what it's about. It's kind of creepy. I think it's this guy that falls in love with this person who thinks she's like possessed by this voodoo spirit, which sounds kind of crazy. So I don't know. I thought it'd be a good read. It's also super short. I think it's about 250 pages. So I'm hoping it can just be kind of a quick read, and it's kind of like creepy, kind of horror genre, which is not something I read from typically. So yay for trying something new. Yeah. So that is pretty much it for this video. In the comments below, please let me know any of your thoughts on the books that I read in October or the books that I'm planning to read in November. Just tell me your life story or anything you want. I will listen. I will. So that is it. As always, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you soon. Bye!